Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar, Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar, Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar, Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar.
Mein kleines Liedchen über dich, Berlin. Und auf einmal...
Ey, warten, los, der Berliner Dialekt kommt rüber, los. Wir von unserer Ecke haben großen los. Wir wollen flossen auf dem Most, sexy Host. Kein Gepose auf unseren Shows oder Studios, Blüten Hände aus den Taschen leihen, los. Wir essen Flagge und wir bleiben auf dem Kurs. Bei allen Frauen dieser Welt nach jedem Stoß. Yo, wir machen's groß.
Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar, Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar, Berlin. Du bist so wunderbar.
That was a pretty exciting but also exhausting weekend, but I'm glad that I could visit Berlin, the European capital of hipsters, and this guy. I'm kind of in the mode of exploring new places, so I'm very much looking forward to the next week, even though it's gonna be no less stressful.
S7 nach Wannsee.
3 days until takeoff. I just left this building for the last time in a long time because I was giving back my keys and saying goodbye to my office mates, and then I will finally pack until Friday. Then I will give these ants here to my, it's not my nephew, but something like my nephew, that are some Temothorax ants. I don't know the exact species because it's difficult to determine. So I sort of rescued this whole colony from a stack of fire timber, and yeah, I put it into this nest that is just 2 microscope slides and a piece of cardboard in between, and I cut out this little nest cavity, and there you can see that there are quite a lot of ants in there. And yeah, since my relative, I don't know, he's like 6 or so, or 7, and he is also fascinated by insects and ants, and so I thought I would give it to him, and then they are in good hands. So this is just my little pet colony. I think they're cute, so they don't need a lot of maintenance. Just give them some fruit flies and maple syrup, a little bit of water, and then they're happy. And then you can like watch them grow. Afterwards I'm going to visit my grandparents, say goodbye to them, and then go packing. And by the way, that is my private ant collection of dead ants that I collected here around in the region or whenever I was on a vacation. These are about, I don't know, maximum 60 ants that I collected and pinned. And yeah, in Germany there are about 130 species in total, and in southern Arizona there are more than 350 or so. So I would have a lot to do if I were to start a collection there as well. So this is just a nice collection to show all the different varieties of ants and to see also how similar and how different ants can look. This, for instance, is the biggest ant species in Europe, and this is the smallest one. 2 days till takeoff. One day till takeoff. I just got up, it's 11:30. Don't know how that happened. I got a tight time schedule today. This mess has to be brought into here. And I need to sort out some documents and say goodbye. I think I'm done packing and I still got some room left, but 20 kilograms is max, so I don't know, maybe I'm already over it. By the way, yes, these are my pajamas. Okay, so I still need to do some paperwork, like scanning in documents and visa and stuff, and then I am pretty much done and prepared for the US. So my plan is that I will arrive in LA on Friday evening, and then I will jump around between two places that I found on Airbnb. One is near downtown LA and the other one is near Venice. Oh, hello son. And yeah, then on Monday I will fly to Tucson, and then the whole thing begins. So this is actually not the first time that I will be in the US or even in Tucson, because in 2013, actually tomorrow, exactly 4 years ago, I flew to San Francisco because I got an internship there with Deborah Gordon at the University of Stanford. The way I got this was just to write an email to the Professor Gordon, and then she said, yeah, sure, come by, and yeah. Then I was there for 2 months and 2 weeks of the... Sorry, my camera died. And in the beginning we were flying down to Tucson to do some field work at the Southwestern Research Station there in southern Arizona. And we stayed there for 2 weeks and filmed some ant colonies and painted some ants, and it was yeah, really cool time. It felt like a vacation, and like it always did when I did some internship abroad or some external internship. It's always a lot of work, but it always feels like holidays at the same time. And I expect that to be the case for at least the beginning of my PhD then as well. So yeah, after these 2 weeks then I was hanging out in Stanford and San Francisco a little more. Yeah, so this means that I know the area already. I know how it is there in the summer. It is hot, but it is also mostly very dry, so you don't really feel the heat of like 50 degrees or Celsius or more. And when it's raining, it's usually a little colder or cooler, around like 30 or so. And then it is also a lot of fun to run around in the rain. Like really looking forward to that. I think it's beautiful there, but you will see enough of that in the following weeks. That was sort of my first real contact with ants and the science, like, and science in general. previously I only had a very short practical course at the University of Würzburg where we also worked with ants, but it was, you know, a course. And yeah, that was the first time that I knew that I would definitely be doing something with ants and the behavior of ants, or behavioral ecology. And Deborah Gordon also recommended to me that I should apply for a PhD position after my bachelor's. And that's not possible in most of Europe, where you have to have a master's before you can start a PhD. I ended up not applying for a PhD after my bachelor's because I thought that I wouldn't have a chance. And yeah, then I just started my master's. Also because Tommy from Regensburg, who you saw last week, um, he also offered me a PhD position when I was done with my master's. So that was then my plan. But then Tommy just took those two PhD students at once, which was not planned. And then he didn't have a position anymore, which is okay. Because, you know, I had this plan B of going to the US or any other country in the world, because I really wanted to go away from Germany and especially from Würzburg, because I just want to explore the world and get to know different places and different people. And I also wanted to live in a country that has English as its native language, because I like the language just so much. And yeah, then I ended up applying last summer, I think. I started, and yeah, it was a hassle. It was a lot of stress, but it was also a cool experience. Um, and it prepared me a little bit for the American system, I think. And yeah, so then since 2013, for 4 years, I have always been thinking about and envisioning doing a PhD in the US. And this also gave me a lot of anticipation during all this time. And yeah, now I also don't feel like it is something very new and I'm making such a big change, because in my mind I was always there somehow. And I was always somehow, you know, living that already in my mind before I'm doing it right now. Maybe this took a little of that fear of the unknown. Now I'm really happy that this is not only something in my mind, but it becomes reality.